Hello, 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 and welcome to the Elevenses Business Show, where we take time out to reflect on your business, the business world, technology, finance, and all business success. So we are your hosts. My name is Morva Adams from Malion Accountancy Services, and my co-hosts are, ladies, please take it away.
Hi, my name is Maureen Egbe. I am the digital confidence coach, helping you with all your processes and everything that you need to get online to make success in your business.
Hi, my name is Yejide Adiri of Logic to Create and Why I Create. I provide WordPress security services as well as laser cutting and engraving services too.
Fantastic. Thank you, ladies. Let's get straight into today's subject, which is policies and procedures. Aren't you excited?
Ooh, great.
Come on now.
Hooray.
Goodness.
Sorry for the sleep.
So, okay, my layman's terms in policies and procedures, well, the definition, shall I say, is the policies is like a clear, simple statement of how your business intends to conduct itself, basically, and look at the bigger picture. And the procedures is how the policy is put into action.
Yes.
And detail the individual processes. Would you agree with that or not? Have you got a different variation of how you think about things?
No, totally agree.
Thank you.
Well, no, it's more or less.
Okay, great. So I got that right then. So on that note, then, so ladies, why? I'm sorry. I'm going to abbreviate PMP. Thank you very much. So why is PMP important?
Okay.
Yeah. Go, Maureen.
Okay.
Don't fight as once, will you? Oh,
No, I know this subject. Do you know what? To be honest with you, when I first saw this subject, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, this is like policies. You know, when you think about what you enjoy most in your business and what you don't, this is what I don't. But it's needed. It is important. So the question is, why is it important? It's important because it helps you in terms of like policies. You've got the legal sides of policies that you need to implement. As a solopreneur who brings in people, it's important so that when I bring in people to do work with me, it's that they know and that they can adhere to how I work and what's important to my business. But also it's important to me as someone that's employing to make sure that I follow the law, you know, in terms of HR. In terms of procedures, do you know what? It's one of the things that I took for granted because you know, I would do things and I just do it day in, day out. But then I think when I had an intern, it really made sense of that. I needed to make sure I had procedures for that intern to follow. But also for me, because I'll do something and I forget how to do it. you know, and it's like, and okay, guys, I keep talking about Excel. Excel is not the only thing that I do technically, but in terms of, all right, and people know this, that when you do something in Excel, if you don't do it all the time, you forget how to do it and you feel like you're going around the whole world. But that's why you have manuals with the procedures, with the steps to show you how to do it. So for me, that's the importance of why you need the procedures to save you time, to save you energy and get clear about what you need to do.
Hallelujah. Yet?
Yeah, I think it's quite similar to what Maureen's saying. And I think also when you're thinking about how you step out of that solo mindset and aiming for growth, yeah, you gotta have those procedures in place because then it makes it easier to kind of hand things over and go through them with whoever's joining your team and stuff like that and whoever you're working with. Legally, I guess it's really important. And with, I think, like things like, from my point of view in terms of work, website security is how you, your procedure and how you kind of secure your website then helps to secure your business and those kind of things. And even when you're looking for contracts and stuff like that, they ask you about your policies. And also, and so that is really a reason why you should have them.
Okay, I agree with all. I agree with both what you both said, especially when you said, Maureen, about when you do something you forget. That's why, like, I know I should do, maybe I should do this, I don't know, but I write things down in my book, but I should really put on paper, to be honest. So I have instructed my trainee to start doing that because, as you say, we need to document these things now legally and, you know, professionally, basically. And obviously having policies and procedures as well makes it look more professional as well, you know? So it seems you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I learned it from yesterday because, I mean, we will be in a meeting and all I hear is and she's speed typist, typing all the steps, which was like, okay. But it's so useful because, again, it's like we can always go back and reflect, you know, and know exactly what it is and what we're doing.
And obviously as well, I think that it forms part of your values and mission as well of your business and company. So yes. So ladies, how would you implement these P&Ps?
With pain and patience. More P&Ps. Pain and patience. Because it's like what Maureen said, like you do so much different stuff. And then I guess because you have so many functions to deal with as well. And then you know, you forget something and then you have to go back through it again, which is the pain. So when you feel the pain, you'll learn to be patient and document as you go along. So basically, that's it.
So if you have staff yet, how would you do that as well? How would you get them on board?
Sorry, say that again?
If you had like assistants or interns or volunteers, how would you get them on board?
How would you get them on board with the policies?
And procedures, yes. How would you, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to be a bit more innovative in how we do these kind of things because obviously we have, you know, there's normally inductions and stuff like that. You give them a fat manual for them to read, and they're falling asleep in the first you know, afternoon of you giving it to them. And I've been through that so many times. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. But yeah, I feel like I haven't done it, but I think for the future, find a bit more innovative ways. So it's like more digital tools, animated videos or something like that. You know, those kind of things. Just bring it to life a bit. And also get them to, I like on the job kind of scenarios. So learn and work at the same time. So and get them to look at what areas may need to be updated as well. Because then, you know, they might bring some fresh ideas and say, no, this isn't working. It changes.
Totally. I totally agree with what you just said there as well, because I think what's employers don't take on board is that people have got different learning styles. So it's actually considering that someone might want to do it more hands-on, or someone might actually want to take a manual so they can make sense of it in their own heads, watch a video. So there's all of these different things that you can do to help someone to understand your policies and procedures, and therefore start to implement them. And it's actually, you just reminded me, in a previous lifetime, I used to work for a local authority in the policy and performance team.
No way.
Very deep. But one of my roles was a quality auditor. So I used to go in and audit people's policies and procedures to see whether they were following it. And one of the key things that, and I suppose it links to the first question of why it's important, is that why businesses and organizations were losing money and time is because they were not implementing their policies and procedures. That, you know, there wasn't a proper induction. Basically, they'll throw people in, just go and do the job. You know, not following the policies and procedures, were making mistakes where then that's where people were getting fined or losing money or complaints, you know. So it's just making sure that people are trained up, because that's where the gap was. Either lack of training, and it's always done that there was not enough time, or the person who's supposed to train up is not around or is not experienced enough, and not reviewing the policies and procedures to see whether they are viable for that moment in time, whether they're still valid. So yeah, I think that when you're bringing staff in, they are the best people to actually check and test to see whether the policies and procedures are working.
And the thing is as well, as you say, like, we're so entrepreneurs, so everything's on our heads: HR, IT, PPs,
Yeah,
you know. So it is a lot of work, especially when you have to review every year as well, you know, and well, sort of every year.
I don't think anyone does every year. I
think out of, for some organizations, like standards, and to get their annual whatever thing, they have to actually go through certain of them.
Yeah, so that would be like ISO, BSI, so those sort of quality standards, that they get an external auditor to come in.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you saying about, you know, be innovative in that, about how you train your potential staff, and it came to me that I do that already, because with my potential trainees and volunteers, whatever, I actually got videos. I've got a couple of videos that I asked them to watch, and obviously to learn, and then come back to me and feedback to me to say, tell me what you've learned and what you understand. So I'm thinking, thanks, Yed, I've done it.
But have you created those videos yourself, or are they like?
Oh, of course not. Come on now. Why are we reinventing the wheel? You're already there.
Yeah. I think that was something that we discussed, in the sense of that you record your steps as you're doing something. So
yeah, because you know, like when you go on health and safety training, and they show you the same dead videos from
that's the ones. But the thing is like, I've got a video from my accountancy body, which I do show, because I think that's quite important. And there used to be a lot more videos in ICO, but for some reason they've like taken most of them down. Maybe because they're kind of old now, I don't know. But I love those videos now, because reading GDPR, I'm sorry, yes, but reading GDPR is kind of like boring.
It's boring as writing policies.
I show them. You learn more, because for me, I like to watch a video, watch a film to understand. Because that's why I like, going off topic, that's why I like true stories in a film, because I can take it in more than reading. Are you with me? So that's why I think the way to go sometimes, as you say, is videos or some kind of graphics. You know what I mean?
Well, that's your learning style.
Yes, exactly. And obviously there's other ways of like having team meetings. You can discuss the policy procedures if you want. That way would go in a bit more as well. And have training days, or even one-to-ones, consultations, blah, 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 blah. So, but as you say, tailor it to your business basically, and how your trainee or volunteer or intern works, basically.
Yeah.
Oy. Yes, next question.
Right there.
It's hard work.
You just do it here.
So, name 2 core policies you think are essential. I mean, don't think too much on it. Just think, you know, top of head, go.
Well, you've got the legal ones that you have to adhere to as an employee, which would then be like your equal opportunities. Yeah. And you mentioned one, health and safety.
Okay, great. Yej?
IT security.
Oh, what a surprise.
I left that one for her.
GDPR.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
But can I just say something, right? Because when I was thinking about this session, and literally everything that's been going on, especially in the past few months, is quite interesting about policies, and that policies can be written on a piece of paper and shoved wherever, right? And you can see how much that has been done with the remote working policy and working from home policies by nearly everyone, because all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? But that's a policy that they've been putting in the you know, books or whatever for years, right? As a tick box.
Yeah.
And a flexible working practice scenario, which basically a whole heap of people have had to fight and God knows what, go through a lot of things to make sure that they were able to have that right until now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was really quite a struggle if you're working in certain scenarios for you to be able to work from home and do remote working as per the policy in the handbooks that you were given.
But it was not legal. That was the stumbling block, because it's not legal. That's why you would have people like managers that like to watch you all the time, watch every, and they need to be micromanaging. Thank you, that's the word. They want you sitting right on their lap, literally, so that they can watch what you're doing rather than you be an adult and take responsibility and work from home. So
yeah. And I guess the point is that you can have whatever policy you want to have, but at least like follow through with them and not just make them a tick box figures and honor them. Honor the policy, especially the ones that are not legal, the ones that are meant to be employee beneficial and those kind of things and so on and so forth. Don't have them on paper just to say and then make people's life difficult when they actually want to use that policy or be able to access it.
Like with the policies I put them in place because I had to, and obviously like taking on volunteers and trainees, I need them to. So as I say at the beginning, this is how the business works basically, and follow these policies procedures. They all have a copy of these policies and procedures. So I think they're all important, as you said, more, and yet like we can pick out many as we want, but I just feel that especially the legal ones are important, and the HR policies are important too. But the thing is, there's hundreds of these policies online you can get via a particular website, and when I looked in there, first of all, I think, oh my gosh, how am I to do all this? So I picked out the important ones to me and my business at the time.
Exactly.
So, ladies, time's ticking on a bit because it's going to be a short one today. So the last question is: name 2 policies that you would implement after this session. Can I start first? Come on, get mine out of the way. Because I don't want cussing. My 2 policies.
He's gonna cuss you.
My 2 policies I'm going to implement after this session is not GDPR. Don't worry, I got that already. It's homeworking.
Homeworking
and flexible working.
And the what?
And flexible working.
Okay.
That's the 2 policies that I'm going to implement because, as you know, I may be getting a Kickstarter. So, and I want them to work from home. So I think these 2 are important for that person.
Okay.
Well done.
What about you? Which 2 you think you'll be implement after this session?
Well, I think because of the way that I work within my business, I haven't got somebody with me full time all the time. It's as and when. And for me, it is about flexibility. So if it's a long contract, I mean, what I've had before is a staff handbook. So I think number one that I need to do is go back and review that, just to see, is that up to date and so on. Yes.
But it's the staff handbook, but isn't that like full of everything, isn't it?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
How do you keep on top of that though? That's my question.
Well, that's the point of me going to review it. Because I haven't kept on top of it.
Okay.
So go back and have a look at that. But for me, what's important in the way that I work and the way that I want to be treated if I was working with somebody is to sit down and have a conversation with that person for us to agree what's going to work. Because again, for me, it's like I've seen policy on lateness and this, that, and the other. And it's like, it's so rigid that actually, isn't it best that we have a conversation that we know what to expect of each other, and then, then agree a way forward. So it's like having a flexible policy or a way of working with each other, if anything like that. I mean, there's going to be key things that I want to achieve and that I want people to recognize and respect the business and the values, that's what you said, the values and the mission. But so yeah, number one, review my staff handbook, and for the intern, a few pointers for us to discuss, that we then create a policy or procedure.
Good idea. Yeah.
I think, to be honest, it would be something like digital usage and well-being policy or something, because I think we're on these devices way too much now. And I think some of it will be reviewing how, like, my team or staff can work with me. That is not always online. So yeah, obviously, social distancing and there's lockdown at the moment. But once that kind of we come out of that, looking at different ways of doing that. Yeah, I think that's the main one, I think, or it could be divided into two, but definitely looking at digital usage and also about well-being. Yeah, managing stress and stuff like that, and how you could do it within the organization. So maybe it's like, they have like well-being day, and there was one organization that I used to work with, and we used to get like a basket of fruit for the whole week. You could get like spa vouchers and all that kind of stuff. So I work you hard on that, but at the end of the day, you might get your feet rubbed or something later. A voucher to get your feet rubbed, not by me. But yeah, those kind of things. So it is that those kind of like work balance kind of things, because because policies can be very strict and rigid and so on and so forth. But it's all about you as the person and the business owner, and how you want your people to feel. It's like work hard, but let's look after each other as well, those kind of things. So,
yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea, because like I think, as you say, policies and procedures are quite rigid. And then you can just tailor it to your own. Like after you have your away days or your spa days, you can discuss it all and amend, update it, So ladies, the last quick few words, have you got anything to say to our guests? Any pointers, any tips, anything they should think about for P&Ps?
For me, it's more about training, making sure that your people understand. It's like everyone has an interpretation of what they might think that your policies and procedures are, but it's about that communication. Don't just hand over a piece of paper listing, well, this is what I expect, this is what you got to do, this is how to adhere to it. But have those conversations, even after watching a video, have a conversation so that there's an understanding. It's good to talk.
Okay.
Definitely. For me, when I was doing a lot of the GDPR work, and I used to put a statement that policies are only words on paper, and that the organizations need to think about how they could bring that a bit more to life. So some of it was about maybe doing like simulated scenarios. You can have posters as well, and those kind of things that just remind you of maybe the key things within the office, or in relation to your computer and stuff like that. So yeah, like just with the videos and anything else, think out of the box in terms of how you can get your people to take on board what all these policies are actually saying and requiring them to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, I believe that if you are an employee or a trainee or an intern or volunteer, if you haven't seen any P's and P's, ask for them.
Yeah.
You're entitled to see these things and sign them off as well, Just ask your employer or your friend or your neighbor, whoever you're working for.
Person with the cake.
P&Ps. Ladies, thank you very much for your chat today. As always, thanks for watching as well. Thank you very much. And you've got any comments, drop them into the box. Have you got any ideas of what we can do to, make these P's and P's a bit more exciting? Let us know. If you have got any questions, drop them into the box and we'll respond to you. So thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Elevenses.